well, the time has come. I think with Sony saying no, Naughty Dog not looking to do anything about it, I think it's for us as fans, it's time to step up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna take Jak and Daxter, Precursor Legacy, and remake it.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
After seeing the new intro, I realized that it's time for me to kind of just step up and make this game. It really sparked to bring back kind of what I remember from Jak and Daxter, playing it the first time on PS2. It was such an amazing game and, you know, part of my childhood that until this day I still play it now and then. I boot it up and I keep playing it, and it's such a massive game for a lot of us in the just gamers in general, that I think it deserves to have a remake and kind of brought back to life for newer people to enjoy. I know that Open Gold exists and that allows you to kind of play the PS2 versions of Jak and Daxter, Precursor, Legacy, Jak 2 and Jak 3 on PC, and as amazing as that might be, it still has the PS2 graphics. So I thought, why not take it upon myself to start remaking it inside of Unreal? Now, I want to make it clear that this is for my own kind of benefit and to see what I could actually do on my own while I'm remaking it. Yes, I've made some smaller games in the past using Unreal Engine, and I've been working in the industry for a couple of years now. Not only do I have experience on how AAA games are made, but I also have experience on how to make indie games on my own. So this will be a very interesting kind of challenge for myself to see how far I can get. I won't be releasing this to the public, of course, because I don't want to get sued by Sony or Naughty Dog in that case, as it is still their IP. This is simply going to be a fan remaking a game similar to other YouTube channels who's kind of remade their own games, such as Toy Story 2, as well as Simpsons Hit and Run, which, you know, is quite inspirational to see how far single people can take old PS2 games and kind of revive them and make them new, and seeing what they would look like with a fresh coat of paint on, technically speaking. Now, I'm lucky enough to find most of the actual PS2 models online, so I could actually see them and kind of stitch it all together. So that's kind of what I've started doing in this section, is I have taken or downloaded most of the actual environments, brought them into Blender, and just done some basic cleanup to kind of get them into Engine and see how they would all stitch together and how they would fit together. Because if we look at the map, it's quite a large map to do and quite a lot of sections to do, but my focus will be most likely Sentinel Beach, as that contains a lot of the mechanics that I need to kind of implement from the start. So here you can kind of see me bring in all of these environments and kind of these levels. And yeah, there's quite a lot to do. But I realized that even though I could download these models, they still contain some really strange artifacts. Some of the faces were inverted, some of them weren't. So I could go and manually flip all the normals for most of the faces, as you can see here. Inside of Unreal, you can use the mesh modifier to kind of flip those faces, select them, and carry on, and to kind of clean up some of the models as I continued working on them. But I realized that I'm kind of just wasting time at this point to try and do that, as I will need to remake so many of these assets to kind of get everything back up to a new kind of standard and just kind of incorporating my own style into it. I'll try to stick to the original as much as possible, but you know, sometimes you got to put a little extra flair on it. Now, instead of trying to carry on with actually flipping all these faces, I found that, well, for time being and just to see it all together, I could actually just make the materials two-sided. Most of the materials is kind of its unique material, which is not very good for performance, and we'll be sorting that out later when we start making the actual assets for the actual game. So for now, I'm just going to set all the materials to two-sided, so that way I can see the environment and kind of see it all stitched together and see what I might be missing. So the game is actually now within one level, and what I'm going to do is I save them all out as separate levels, and that's for the sake of using level streaming instead of just making it one open level. It'll be just use level streaming to load each section. That way we can save up on memory down the line when we're actually building the game to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Now, for the time being, I'm just going to drop in the third-person character as well. That way I can kind of see what's happening, what the scale's like. And I realized pretty early on that the scale was about double the scale of what we're normally used to. And I don't know if that was kind of a design choice when they were working on PS2, or if that's just simply the case of, well, the models got ripped from the game. So for now, I'm just going to have it all scaled to 0.5, and everything luckily snaps to the world origin to line up, which makes it extremely nice and easy to use. So here you can see see after, you know, dropping in the third person character, cleaning up some of the collisions, I'm able to actually run around within Sandover Village for the first time actually inside Unreal Engine. Now I wanted to try and reuse the Jak model that was currently there, but with the scale kind of proportions and retargeting, it wasn't going to work for this test, simply because it needs to be remade and reskinned to work with the actual Unreal Engine character. That way I've got a lot better base to work off of and a lot more bones to kind of manipulate and kind of get that original style from. So for the first week, you know, I'm quite happy just getting the level in and seeing what all comes together. Next, I'll be working on seeing all the textures that I got with these models and seeing how many of them actually got reused across each level, and that would kind of give me a wider view of what I need to remake, as well as downloading some of the rest of the models for similar assets such as the crates, the bike, some of the creatures as well, before I can actually start building those systems. I think it would be good for me to start building a save system first to ensure that I could save the whole world and the actual levels, because as you're collecting the precursor orbs, you don't want them to respawn as you're playing and reloading certain areas. So I'm gonna have to ensure that I can set that all up ahead of time before starting to take on Jak. Now I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from that original fan-made trailer that was used for the Sony pitch. I think they did a really good job at showcasing what a new version could look like. Sure, I'm not going to get close to that in the time frame that I'm looking to remake this game. I think it would be good to take inspiration from that, as well as some of the newer Ratchet and Clank games on how they did some of the shading and kind of the style that they went for. So I think I might be ending up going with a style that kind of merges the two together, and I think that could be really unique going on forward. Probably every couple of weeks I'll give an update and keep building on it until there is more to show. So if you guys want to follow along and see how it all comes together, or have any suggestions on what I could look at, please drop a comment below, follow the channel, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.